Hi, everybody. I'm Tim with Higher Life Publishing and Marketing. And today I'm with author Teresa Hodge talking about her book, Through Open Doors, Unlocking the Mystery of Soul Winning. And today's to give you an insight and a heart behind this book so you can hear from the author herself and be inspired to pick this book up and do the things that this book shares and talks about. So, Teresa, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about your book and how you feel a reader will benefit from it.
I wrote the book because the Lord burdened my heart for souls many years ago, and I knew I needed to be a soul winner. I knew I needed to share the gospel. I knew the points of the gospel because I'd been saved myself, but I really didn't know how to take the Bible, open it up, and share the gospel from start to finish. And how to start that conversation, how the conversation should flow from point to point, and then how to extend an invitation to that person to receive Christ, to pray and receive Christ, and then what to tell them afterward as the next steps for that new believer. I wanted so badly to be able to follow someone else around and listen to them and watch them as they shared the gospel with someone. But at the time in my life, there was no one I could do that with. So the Lord showed me that He wanted to teach me and that He would teach me as I continued to go out and try and continued to find books that I could read to learn more. And He did. And I wanted to share in this book the things that the Lord has taught me over those 25 years of going and trying and learning, so that hopefully the reader, you, will be able to become a soul winner, an effective soul winner, a lot quicker than it took for me to do that. The benefit of this book is, or what I want the reader to come away with, is an increased faith, and therefore courage needed to become the soul winner God wills for each of us to be. You will come away from this book with a personalized plan, including a complete conversation for sharing the gospel with anybody who will listen, with those open doors that God sends your way.
Fantastic. Tell me who the ideal reader for this book is. Who would you say that you're trying to target specifically?
The ideal reader of this book would be someone who maybe has a lost mother or father, a lost son or daughter, a spouse. They're burdened for, somebody they care deeply for, and so long for them to know Jesus and be able to escape the eternal punishment of hell. But they just really need a little help with the how-to. Somebody who knows that they want their life to count. They want their life to matter. They want to fulfill Jesus's prayer request when he said for us to pray, therefore, the Lord of the harvest, that He will send laborers into His harvest. Somebody who wants to be that laborer in God's harvest, but just needs a little help and encouragement to get there.
Awesome. That's amazing. What kind of impact do you hope that this book has for people? What would you like to see as a
Oh,
book?
I have great and high hopes for this book. I know the Lord gave it to me. He poured it out through me in 2-week time period. It is the lessons that He's taught me over 25 years. And I know that it will benefit anybody. There's no teacher like the Lord. And I hope and pray, this is my desire, is that there will be souls in heaven whose salvation in part was due to this book, and someone taking the book and learning what it has to teach and applying it and using it, growing as a soul winner, leading souls to Christ, and knowing this book was a part of their salvation. The Lord gave it for a reason. We don't have much time. We don't know exactly how much time each person has, and we certainly don't know when the Lord will come back. The need is urgent and desperate. My another goal for the book is, and another hope and prayer is that churches would feel the need, see the need, and maybe purchase the book in some format. I plan to offer it in a PDF format for churches to take and use and make as many copies as they need to, and maybe use the book as a teaching and a training tool in their discipleship classes.
Fantastic. Let me ask you. I'm going to ask you a bonus question on this. Is there like, and I think we may have talked about this before, but is there like an experience you can go back to when you first, were trying to reach people with the gospel that you had that was impactful for you specifically, or something that you've seen come out of it by doing this and how this approach came about?
First one would have been when the Lord opened the door for me to first even begin to learn to win souls, would have been when I was involved in the juvenile detention ministry in our county. And our church would take a group of people every Monday night to the detention facility, and we would hold a church service. And at the end of the service, the different volunteers who went would take a boy who came forward at the invitation time and talk to them and share the scriptures with that young man. While before I ever took a young person on my own to share the gospel, I did realize that I needed to be ready. So I wrote down some scriptures that I would use and wrote down beside each scripture what I would say about that scripture. And that's how I got started with my trial and error method of sharing the gospel.
What do you think someone needs to be a soul winner?
Oh, confident faith in the Lord to use them. We know that the Bible tells us to go and preach the gospel, to share the gospel, to go everywhere, find anybody that'll listen, to go out in the highways and hedges. We know we're supposed to go, but sometimes we feel like, will God use me? Is that just for preachers and missionaries? But no, it's for every one of us.
Perfect. Well, Through Open Doors, Unlocking the Mystery of Soul Winning is available now. Teresa, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you very much.